All right, so here's my little thing on shadow work. Those are just my notes. So what I'm going to do is not a real reading, but I'm just going to show you placement of cards and talk about what they are. So I'm just going to not contact spirit. I'm just going to give you a lesson. So I'm just going to draw at the top of the deck like this. 3 cards up top, 2 down the bottom. And I like to, for this reading, because it's the way I learned, is pick an oracle card. I have oracle fairy cards. You can use angel cards. You can use, I'm using Sacred Circle Tarot because I just like it and I'm learning to use it. So that's what this deck is. This one I think is the wheel. I can't remember. Some wonderful person gave it to me that I don't have a book or anything with it. That's how I learned. But you can basically go on your phone and say to Google, oh, what does King of Pentacles mean? Or what does the Magician mean reversed? So basically, you have the setup. With the first position of the card here, this here is in your shadow work. What is it that's in the shadow that's the negative effect? How does it show up in your life, your mood, your behavior, your everyday, your repetitive stupidity, and how the process of all these cards will be how to heal it. The next card position here is going to be how you cope. Now, not how you cope in a negative way, but how you creatively cope with this, because our shadow is creative. It's not all negative, and we need to not take it that way. So how would you cope? What is your quirky little positive way, even if it brings out negativity, to use your shadow to deal? Like, say you're always joking when things are going bad, and that's your way of coping. That's positive. You're trying to develop a balance, but you don't really know what it is you need to balance. So you need to look into this as a blessing. And that's, like I said in part 1, you need to stop looking at things as negative, as bad, as you're punished, as you're evil. We all have evil in us. We all have negativity in us. And the more we white light that bullshit out, the deeper the shadow dives, the sicker you're going to get. And the stupider shit you're going to do all of a sudden while you're trying to walk that light path the best you can. So this is to help you to avoid it. Now, this card here in this position, the third, it's to tell you, to speak to you about how it will harm you if you continue to go on dealing with it, with this, how you're coping, trying to stay positive. If you're trying to stay positive and glossing shit over, you're going to completely go on a more harmful path. So say like me, you put up with a lot of bullshit, and you tell yourself you're doing really good, but you're not well. So when you blow, you're going to fucking blow, and you're going to make that person stop doing the shit they're doing to you. Or you're going to figure your shit out if it's the last thing on earth that you do. That's just me. That's how I am. It's how my stars, it's my filters of who I am as stardust. So this card will be the ongoing harmful effects on your psyche if you continue to try to stay positive and work through things without really understanding yourself. So this would be the negative shadow, okay? Shadow is not negative, but that's the negative position you're going to deal with it. Now, this card, the next row, number 4, is going to be how you heal or move into the action of healing by hearing, by taking your own advice, by understanding your own energy and how to imbue it, how to avoid the wrong stuff you're taking. So a lot of times in order to heal, you just need to rest and see yourself as whole and not as shattered and ripped apart. And some of these shadow things are like so obvious, even when the cards really speak to you, you don't get it. I will tell people all the time, the more you do cards, the more you understand symbology. Some people it's easy, that's who I am. Some people it's super hard, but just Google. Just say to Google, oh, the Magician reversed, and it will give you a short little blurb. And then you write it down in a box, like it's in this position, in that. And it will help you to understand, even if you keep it as kind of like a psychological diary. That's what shadow working is. You do that along with your spells and other things if you're into that. Okay, this card position, number 5, is your action card. This is how to take the advice from this card and how to use it to heal and change yourself. This is the action you have to take. It has to be forthcoming. How to move ahead, how to not get stuck in the pattern, going over and over and over again until it's so obvious, you can't deny it and you see it. Now the Oracle card, or your positive angel energy card, or whatever you want to use this for, your angel message, this card in this position is supposed to be like a positive note to end things on. Sometimes it won't seem like a positive note, but you have to learn to understand these things as positive, or you're only going to get frustrated with your own self and you're going to give up. And then you're going to keep repeating the same shit you hate that you do. Like why you let certain people push all your buttons and why you need those buttons pushed, and how can I say that you want those buttons pushed when you hate having those buttons pushed. But we're energy, and we all got to bounce off something in order to be matter, in order to understand ourselves, in order to be embodied. I'm trying to explain, So take, for instance, I'm not going to read these cards in spirit. I'm not doing that right now, but take, for instance, if I was like, oh, Shadow, why am I having a hard time? I'm talking to myself here, my spirit. Why am I having a hard time connecting to, say, the dead? This is something I asked myself this week, see? And again, it usually will take you back to the same things, the same understandings, the same notions over and over again. And you'll be frustrated that it comes down to the same pattern. But you have to not be frustrated and just be willing to look at it. You can take 30 years of counseling, or you can take a few years doing shadow work for the same issue. You can also, and I recommend this, going to a good hypnotist so that you can receive some of your shadow work better if you're having a hard time getting anywhere with it. Go to a counselor, go to a psychiatrist. I do go to a counselor. I'm glad that I found someone I can finally relate to and tell shit to, because I was in a place where I never found anyone I could trust to tell shit to, and they just use it against me to play games to get pot or attention from whoever I was with, or just to be cool, or just because they're really fucking ignorant of this shadow. And they may talk about this enlightenment bullshit and pot and their third eye opening, but their third eye may be as open as the sun, but you know what? All they're doing is not being able to process it, being overwhelmed and being stuck. We all do that, even with a third eye open. And so don't let someone tell you that you need this huge transcendence to change, because you're just going to give up and you're never going to change. And you're going to be here with everyone else going, the man and slavery and somebody help us and nobody cares and everybody's an asshole and the man is you. The man is the paradigms you choose to live under and keep repeating. Therefore, they're being projected, and the people who are you're projecting it onto are projecting way worse shit back onto you, because that's how it works, so you don't like the shadow shit. The man is you. The man is a male paradigm that's out there existing. And us feminist women who not too long ago had to starve ourselves and go to jail just to demonstrate and shit, now we think we're all that and more because we can put on the man's pants and smoke a cigarette and not have to stay home and raise our own children. We can leave that to some plebeian other woman or man or a group of people that think they know better than us. Wrong. And not because I'm not a feminist, and I don't like to identify with any ist, but I'm saying you took that and you made that into being the man. We always be our captors. We always shadow shit our slave masters. This is how the world works, because we're monkeys and we monkey and repeat stuff. And people think I'm so negative. I don't care. I'm going to tell you there's shit on your face, and then I'm going to tell you how to wipe it off. And that's just who I am. So if you don't like it, don't stay here. Move on. There's many of other people you can insult on the internet. or you can come here and I'll show you how to do shit. So anyone has any questions about how to continue to do this, I want you to learn yourself, because nobody can point a finger at you better than yourself. And yes, I could read you some cards and say what your patterns are going to be for the next 6 months, but your patterns will keep you on being that for the next 6 months, the next 6 months. It'll just be a different problem and a different person and a different love affair and a different fuck up until you learn to do it yourself. This is how the universe works. This is the way to escape it. By the way, I'm someone that continue collects information and hides and doesn't connect and represses myself. And that's why I'm having a hard time contacting the dead again, which was, super easy to me a little while ago, and I was doing a really great job with it. I was at the scene of a couple accidents where people died immediately, and both of those people came to me, and that's a story for another time I would love to tell, because some people love this shit, and other people just like, you're nuts, you're hallucinating, blah, blah, blah. Well, if anyone believes in mathematics, never mind even sacred geometry, the stuff that I've gone and then found the people's families and then wrote the messages to them and never asked for money, just sent it along and said, look, I hope I don't insult you. This is from your sister. This is from your brother. This is from your friend. And they came to me. I don't go searching them out. When someone comes to me, they come to me for process, because if not, they're going to be stuck here. And I'm for escaping the loop. And that was even before I knew about escaping the loop. So that's what I help people do. I help them they're traumatized, they're out of their physical body in an astral realm, suspended between life and death, confused as fuck, don't know what's going on. And they come to me, sometimes in me and through me, like I feel what they feel. And it's scary, and I used to hate it and rejected it most of my life, but now I'm getting that shit out of my shadow and learning how to do it again and opening up to that again. And no, I'm not some great channeler or psychic. So don't come to me with all your problems. The end.